The main one, like you said, is that everyone's looking forward to is firing range. But yeah, again, I think they should have put this in way earlier. I don't want too many remasters. Like, we've said it before. We've had our fair share of them. But yeah, this game definitely needs some new maps. They need less of the gimmick maps that we've gotten past couple. Like I see again on here, we're getting another iteration of a Blaze Town. Like, bro, I don't care.
Welcome everyone to episode 216 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. I didn't tell you before because I wanted to let you know right now. I got some good news. I officially secured an apartment.
Oh, let's go.
Hell yeah. It was the one that I wanted up on the 3rd floor. I'd be chilling.
Let
So
the people know.
I'm gonna be
address and everything.
Yep, exactly. Well, I mean, I'm moving to New Hampshire. I'm out of Mass. That's all I'll say. You know what? I'll tell you afterwards where I'm going.
Yeah.
But it was the one that I sent you. It was that apartment that I was looking for. And she went and it was funny because I took the day off of work. It was like it was last week Wednesday. I just had all these days and I was like, screw it. I'm not gonna come in. And good thing I did because she went and emailed me at like 11 o'clock and was like, hey, this spot's available. I'm gonna have it posted within the hour. So if you want to go and apply. And then I'm putting it in and I got all my info, I got all my documents I needed, and it's like denying me because I need to select the apartment. I'm like, dude, why? I'm trying. Like, what the like why am I'm selecting it and it says it's not available. And I'm bugging. I'm like, oh, like, you have to be kidding me. And I email her, I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, oh, it's someone else is applying for it right now. So it's like it's glitched. That's why. I'm shaking. But I'm like, dude, if some rat goes underneath me and snags this place, especially for how long I've been talking to this landlady, I'm gonna be beside myself. And she was like, no, don't worry. She's like, I'm gonna take you anyway. So then she did. And then she messaged me afterwards, was like, yeah, he had horrible credit anyway. He couldn't get it. So you're good. I was like, that's great. So yeah, I'm moving in, I think the 25th of May.
Oh, nice. Okay. So like 2 months. Yeah, essentially like 2 months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just about. So I gotta start buying furniture when that time comes. I'm gonna be living on the Facebook Marketplace looking for some good deals.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a move. Facebook Marketplace.
Dude, it surprises me because I usually only go on there for guitars because I'm always curious to see if someone like, within 25, 30 miles of me has something that's worth looking at. And then just because of this, I was like, oh, let me go look on the marketplace and see what's up. Like if there's any couches and stuff. Dude, it's unbelievable how much people just need to get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes I had this notion that a lot of it was going to be trash. It's like, oh, we've got this rug. And I'm like, oh, forget it. Like, look at that thing. It's a disaster. But a lot of it, like, they'll have these couches and they're like $100, $200. Like, I need it gone. Like, I'm moving out. I'm not taking this thing. And it's like a really, really nice couch. Like, it looks clean. Some stuff on there for sure is dingy. But there's a lot of stuff on there. I'm always surprised. I'm like, wow, this coffee table is like $50. And they're like, yeah, too heavy to move. Like, don't want it or whatever. So I'm hoping to be taking full advantage of these people.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a lot of nice stuff on there. Like you said, people just need to get rid of it, so they'll just sell it like cheap to get rid of it. But yeah, for people that don't know either, Massachusetts and New Hampshire are right next to each other. Yeah. Some people are like, hey, you can get through New England within like a couple hours. So for other people that don't live in smaller states, they're like, what?
And where I live too, I'm right on the border. Like if I drive 10 minutes, I'm in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So my work is only 20 minutes from where I'd be moving.
Which, that's not bad at all.
No, I mean, right now, like I couldn't really move any closer to my work, so it doesn't really bother me that much, especially too if I get to avoid state income tax. Or I think state income. Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't want to be dealing with that. So I let my work know immediately. I'm like, hey, by this date, I was like, this needs to be taken off because I'm going to be moving. They're like, okay. You're
Yeah.
goddamn right.
You still gotta pay Mass though, because 'cause you're working in Mass, but
Yeah, I know.
it won't be taken out of your, pay now.
Yeah. So that's a
Goddamn
relief.
taxes.
Yeah, I know, dude, it's bullshit. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, I mean, that's how I've been, things have been, up and down, but that was definitely an up. I was stoked about that. So,
Nice.
I'm gonna be looking forward to that, and I have a friend who has a truck, and he's like, "Dude, let me know, I'll
Mhm.
help you."
Help,
It's
yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
unlike some people we
Huh.
know
I do
who
too.
have trucks.
He didn't
Yeah,
help.
right. It's like, "Dude, come on, bro."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a pain though, but what are you gonna do?
Nice. Big life move.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it big time. Like, I'm moving by myself, so it's gonna be dope to just have a place to myself and be a complete idiot, you
Mhm.
know? So, yeah, it's gonna be sick for sure. I'm looking forward to it. But tell you though, bro, since I know you were away on a little vacation, which was dope,
Mhm.
brother, I swear to God, every time you leave, some shit goes down. You notice
Like
that?
on the timeline? Or just in
Yeah,
general? Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, well, when okay, well, we'll talk about the news now. PRED got dropped. Oh, not he got released. Drop is, like, harsh, but
And
he
and
got
I know you
yeah.
I'll say too, sorry to interrupt, but I'll tell you too, this weekend, triple double XP. I
Yeah,
was
no,
like
I saw that, dude.
ev
Yeah, chalk it the fuck up. I don't care
yeah,
at
I
this
know,
point.
right, at this point. But yeah, with the big news though, it was like the next day you left, me and, our buddies
Mhm.
texted, we're like, "Bro."
Oh, no, dude, I didn't even leave yet on my trip. I was flying out that night.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was seeing these messages, like, while I was packing or whatever. I'm like,
Oh,
"Dude,
okay,
what the
gotcha,
heck is
yeah, yeah.
happening?" Um, yeah, so Pred got released, and Huke is back on Optic, and which is crazy. Granted, like, I think if everybody took a step back, you could see, like, why they did that. Like, they think a two-person change is necessary. Do I agree with it? No, but I'm not playing the game, you know? It's that, battle that we talked about, like, the past couple episodes where do you keep this team because you know they're insane and invest like, hold on to them so next year you have, like, probably a god team? Or do you make changes now and hope for, you make champs and you win, like, a possible major or something, right? But the fact that they went so hard to get both of these guys going into MW3 and now they're just gone is insane.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about it this really at, much of length, like, usually we talk beforehand, but yeah, it's the first time we're both trying to understand what the hell happened here. I mean, I was not expecting it at all. I don't think anybody was expecting Pred to be dropped off this team.
Mhm,
Um, and to your point, yeah, it was had to have been a tough call because obviously the potential with their former team is insane. Um, but they just have looked awful, since I mean, even after they picked up Skies, they still lost and looked bad. I'm sure you could go different routes with it, whether you believe that he himself played terribly or, you want to chalk it up to a lack of scrims or there's a bigger issue than just him. They clearly took that as the route. There was a bigger problem than just Skies. And now they're going to have Hook in there, which I feel so bad for Hook because this guy we talked about it last week about like the name Optic and like being part of the family and then you're not and all this. Bro, Hook has been subbed in and out of this team so many times over the years and now we're getting a second time within 1 year.
mhm.
um I'm just waiting for this guy to like earn his spot, you know.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think they
he's
just need to
Optic.
keep him
He's part Optic. Yeah, no, literally.
at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the I mean, it's crazy that I personally don't agree dropping him, but who am I? Like, they're trying to win this year, and, like, I don't I get it's hard for an owner or just, like, I guess, a team in general knowing, like, "Look, we've all decided this isn't gonna work," but imagine, like, holding on to the team and just chalking it up like, "Okay, we're not gonna win a major. We're probably not gonna win champs, so let's just wait till next year." If you're an actual competitor, you're probably pissed off, you know? And also too, we don't know how, like, Pred feels about it, like, not being dropped, but just losing in general. Because I'd imagine with him, he's like, dude, okay, it's not working. Maybe get rid of me. Like, we just got to make a change. Something has to happen. So then I can get on another team and possibly have a chance, like
Right.
start winning at least. And I caught up on like some clips that Shotzi and Dashy were saying, and they're like, look, we don't hate each other. We just all agreed that it wasn't working. So something had to happen. And Shotzi was saying in a clip that he just lost his flow playing with Pred in this game specifically. Like he felt that they were doing individual things on the map because they both felt like a major play needed to happen. So they weren't playing off of each other the right way like they did back in MW3. And I just saw today, Dashy, I guess on stream, was saying that he feels like he can't get any chemistry with the team right now because it's a revolving door of players. Like he has a new teammate every single week. And I want to point that out because I've mentioned before, like chemistry is a huge thing in Call of Duty. And clearly you can see how chemistry like impacts all of them.
Yeah, that's clearly a top priority. I still feel with a lot of these teams because I saw also that Shotzi was saying that this team is going to stay together. Like, there's no chance that they split up. And a lot of people were, thinking that he's crazy and doubting that this team's going to stick together. Um, I think they totally will because of that exact point. I think we're at this stage now where we're in Major 3. It's going to be starting this week. Um, there's just not enough time. There's not enough time for them to go through Major 3, have a bad performance, and then go and make another roster change and have to do this whole cycle again. Um, I think they put one of the better teams together that they could with the pieces that were available. Bringing Huke in, I for sure think was the right move. Um, it is crazy to say that after seeing that they dropped Pred from that, and he's the one that gets, lost on it. But obviously they needed to make a change. And now having 2 new players in there, I think it's gonna be hard for at first to try to, build some chemistry and get something going without some wins on the board. I think that's really what they're gonna need. Once they can prove, and I saw too even before going on here that they were on Twitch and they were gonna be playing LAT for scrims, and it was like I saw Scump had like 20,000 viewers watching
Mm-hmm.
him, which is insane because everybody wants to see, okay, how good are these guys actually? Because if they're good and then they start performing and they get some wins, like I think they're going to be playing ROKKR. It's their first match for this week. If they get some wins on the board, I think that chemistry and like, the dope is going to be there, you know. But if they start losing again, it's just going to be a real slog all through Major 3, because they're immediately going to be thinking and getting in their heads that the changes they made weren't worth it. It was a huge mistake. These players aren't it. Do we keep them? Do we drop them? Um, so they're definitely in a tough spot after dropping both these guys. I think it was the right move, um, for this season, but it's definitely a gamble. I mean, of course, you got rid of 2 of the best people, like 2 of the best players you can get.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, to your point, I think this is probably the best team that they could put together in terms of optic with, the choices that they have. You can clearly see, Sky's his track record and Hook's track record, especially with optic anyways. And at least you have Hook and Shotzi who have played together before. And they've won a world championship together. So you can tell the flow of those two subs on a map. They work well together off of each other. I saw
Yeah,
him say that with Pred, they were making individual plays, but when Pred would do something, he wouldn't know what to do because of like, his decision making. There was option 1 and option 2, and he didn't know which the clear best option was playing with him in this game. But playing with Hook, he knows exactly what to do if Hook is doing X. He knows it's this option no matter what. So it's so hard to explain this chemistry and the feel on the map, but it's the same way when you and I play together. Like when we play together, we know, the certain gaps that we need to fill, or I know you're going to be there. If you do this, I'm doing this.
right.
And then you sub one of us out. with someone else, the flow isn't there.
Yeah, and I find it interesting to your point about him saying that the flow just wasn't there anymore with Pred. How they did have it, and then they seemingly lost it. Um, I don't know if that's just a title thing or that's just, them being players together, they lose that chemistry. Um, but when I was doing the clips for the last episode, I think it was the last episode, maybe the one before, um, you had made a point about that, how Huke was doing better with that team, and the team overall just looked better prior to Pred coming in statistically, which was true. And I think that's where a lot of people were just surprised by the change in general, because they were looking okay. Granted, they had like a bad land performance, but overall they didn't look bad. And then Pred came in and they immediately started underperforming. Um, so I do wonder how Shotzi and Hook are gonna be playing off each other now that they're back, if it really just is that simple and they can understand each other right away and, also how they work with Caesar. Um, it's I mean, I'm excited for it. I would wanna watch some of their scrims, but from what I've seen or heard rather is that they're doing good, like, they look like a solid team. Um, but all these teams, they all say that they're frying in scrims and they look amazing, but then it's just gonna come down to match day as to how they actually look.
Yeah, and I mean, only time will tell, right?
Right,
They said that there's not going to be a roster change, which, to your point, there isn't that much time left. Going like we're in qualifiers like 3, going into major 3. Granted, yeah, if you don't perform well at major 3, I guess you could make a change, but then you're in just that cycle again of okay, brand new teammates, one more major, and then you got champs, and then you got
right,
EWC. So you just gotta hope that they're at least performing decent during the split, and I'm sure they will because again, like they can't get any worse right now,
right,
in terms of optic. So
right.
I'm sure they'll be fine. I hope there is a small honeymoon phase or something, you know. And do I think they're going to be a top 3 team right now? Probably not,
No.
but they can push to the upper top 6, especially with that team. I mean, they're optic. There's no way that they just let this completely slip.
And if they did let it completely slip, I think that's the only time, also depending on like the other changes we're gonna talk about, because I think that does lend itself into what we're mentioning, is that if the other teams catch up and there's a chance that Optic may not make champs, even though, in my heart, I know they're going to, but if things did become that dire, that's the only reason I would see them making another change. If it was that drastic and they're like, no, there's no way this team's going to be able to pull it together. Like we have to just do something to try to, get a win or get points to be able to make it to champs.
Mhm.
Um, I do believe you though, and I do agree with you. I think that this team, they're gonna be more competitive, obviously. But I think they're gonna be probably struggling still to fight with Ultra and Seattle. I think they'll take some wins on them, but um, I think that's really what they're gonna be fighting for. Like you said, that fourth to sixth spot, maybe
Mhm.
third, but um them trying to win majors or anything, I just absolutely cannot see that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that
unless they come out just shooting, and
Yeah,
we haven't
all of
seen
a
that.
sudden all of a sudden, they just go from 0 to 100,
Yeah.
which is not likely, but, yeah, it puts them in a really interesting spot. This is one of the few times that Optic, I think, has really been in a situation like this where they're just, you know, struggling
In the
consistently.
CDL. I mean, the last
Yeah,
time it was like this was MW2, but at least in MW2, they built a pretty big lead, in terms of going into champs, and they were at least competitive. Right now, they're just not, and there is a chance that they might not make champs.
right.
Right now, the standings are pretty close, and which actually brings up a point I thought about. This would not be good for viewership for the CDL.
Oh,
Like, could
no, it'd
you
be
imagine
terrible.
if Optic doesn't make champs? I'm sure all the diehard fans like you and I are still gonna watch champs. And the
Yeah,
people that are fans of Scump and Zuma and these personalities, they're still gonna watch, but they're gonna watch their stream and not the CDL stream. But what about the everyday casual Optic fan, I guess, that just tunes in just for their matches? I wonder if viewership's just gonna drop because they're not there watching and optics out. And I wonder if it's in the best for CDL to be like, yo, this team needs to make it into champs somehow. Do
We'll
we start
sauce
rigging
some points.
games? Could you imagine?
Dude, that would be a storyline for the ages if that happened. That would be
Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right though. There's for sure Optic fans out there who they only watch that like the matches that they play, and if there were people who were going to champs for it, um, they wouldn't go. You know,
Mhm,
I mean, there's no way that there aren't people like that who just want to go see them play. Um, maybe they do like the other teams, but what they really want to do is just see Dashy and all those guys walk out on
mhm,
stage just to be in their presence.
mhm,
And if they're not going to get that, then they're probably going to say screw it and not go. Um,
mhm.
yeah, it definitely would hurt the CDL overall. Rigging games would be sick. That
That
would
would be
be like
insane.
yeah, because then there would be like some 4-hour documentary put out by somebody like on the whole thing, and I'd find it fascinating.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, this is all barring that they don't make champs. And again, I know both you and I, in our hearts believe that they're going to do it. Again, it watch us timestamp this right now and be like, there's no way they keep sucking.
Yeah.
And then we
Dude, yeah, literally.
flash forward, and they're still like and like a new record of 0-17, 0-16 or something.
Yeah, dude. Um, but yeah, so that was like the big news with the roster changes. Optic made the change, and PRED's gone. Huke is in. So now it's
Hmm.
Dashy, Shotzi, Huke, and Skies. So we'll see how that team
That is
performs.
so weird.
Yeah, very, very weird.
Very
So
weird.
we'll see what happens. But they weren't the only team that made a change. So let's do ROKKR. ROKKR made a change, which I think a lot of us expected. You even said it was last episode or the episode before that they're probably going to make a change, and it's most likely going to be Paul because he's just been up and down and then underperforming at the majors. So Paul has been dropped,
Yes.
sadly. And then I saw first off, I saw the rumors about Kenny going there, and I was like, what? There's no way this is real. And
Yeah.
then I kept digging, and then the news like actually dropped about him, and I was like, oh, okay, that's insane.
I, dude, I don't know what the hell's going on. Just
Yeah.
like, I
That's a
mean,
win
again,
for ROKKR, though. Huge win for ROKKR.
oh yeah, huge win, no doubt. Well, the news originally was that he was going to go to Carolina,
Yeah, I saw that.
um, which I thought like I was like, damn, that's a really good move.
Mhm,
Like, he's definitely moving up in the food chain. Um, but then I guess it fell through, and I saw on Zuma's stream. From what I understand, it fell through because it was like a money thing.
mhm.
They weren't going to pay him how much he wanted to get paid.
I mean,
Um,
he did come from Optic and just won a champ, so
Yeah, I mean, that's the
uh,
thing, and I'm sure on their side, they're like, "You're also dog shit right
yeah,
now,"
I'm
like,
sure, yeah,
so, we gotta
yeah,
find a middle ground here, but I'm
mhm,
sure at Optic too, he was getting paid, like, big
mhm,
time, so some of these teams probably looked at it and were like, "Jesus Christ, no, we can't do
mhm,
that," you know? If he's like, "Look, I'm making $250,000 a year on this team, like, I wanna get that," they'd be
yeah,
like, "Look, we can do 60,000.
yeah, yeah,
Get the
like, yeah,
hell outta here."
yeah.
Um but yeah, now he's landing with ROKKR, and I don't know. I have no idea what to think about that. It's a huge W for ROKKR. So that would be the team: Geo, Nero, Kenny, and Estoril.
Mhm. I mean,
Okay.
I think this is good again for ROKKR. Like Kenny brings so much
Yeah.
experience and will help mentor, the these younger players. I mean, I know Nero's like tech. I think he's on his third year technically, but hopefully Kenny can help them out. Which I'm sure he will. Uh, I think it's wild that he, not that he's back, but he's like, I want to win.
Right.
That like he's hungry even after leaving Optic and not being with them anymore. He's like, "Look, I'm back. Like
Right.
I'm ready to play." And you know, I don't expect him to come out and just completely fry, but I do expect him to come out and definitely play better because sometimes you just need a change of scenery around you, and those players might just work way better around him in this game than he did with Optic.
Right. That's what, I'm assuming is gonna happen too. I think he's gonna look a lot better, um, and obviously that team is gonna look way better. I didn't think that was necessarily a bad team, but they did succumb a lot to Paul's performances. Like, that was kind of the, if we're being real, that was a main reason why they were losing sometimes in a lot of close series because they would
Mhm,
all be close to positive or positive, and then he would be having a bad game.
mhm,
Um, and I hope he, gets back on it and can bring the more consistency to them. Because I just looked it up. I wanted to see where they were in the standings.
mhm.
Um, and they're 10th right now with 90 points. And dude,
It's
I don't
close.
think Kenny would be able to live with himself if he was on that team and they didn't make it to champs.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I think he's going to try to make sure that that team wills their way to champs no matter what.
Mm.
Um, and if he does that, first off, that would just be so sick. And can you imagine too if he goes and knocks out Optic? Can you
That's
imagine?
what yeah, exactly. It's not like I don't think he would go to a team where they're completely out of it. I think the only team that's completely out of it right now is LAG and Falcons,
Falcons. Yeah.
but, mathematically, they're not yet, but, I mean, it's gonna be
But
really
we
hard,
all
but
know.
yeah, but ROKKR, though, they're in it. I mean, the spots from I think it's 7th through 9th or no, 7th through 10th. It's still close, it's really close. You know, it's, like,
Six,
between
yeah, I would even say 6 through 10 right now because the team that's at the top is Optic with 110, and Boston's at 110, Miami 100, and then you get 95 and 90.
yeah, so it's literally 1 to 3 games.
Yeah,
If
Rocker's 20 points off Optic in sixth.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, they're very much in the race to champs, and a lot of it too will depend, obviously, winning your qualifier matches, but then how far you actually make in the major.
Right.
So, if ROKKR can make a run in the major, they might be able to, you know, jump up a little bit, and Optic might be hovering around that 7th, 8th spot, depending how they do too. And
Yeah.
man, how would that look with Kenny being dropped? I mean, again, he was one that asked to be dropped because he knew the team just wasn't succeeding. But that'd be a crazy, story that he went to a different team and he's the one that brought the team up. Like he was a missing piece for that team and then
Right.
knocked Optic out. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, and I hope that happens for his sake. I'm sure it's been really difficult for him with his struggles on Optic over the past year.
Mhm,
And yeah, a change in environment and scenery might do him well, and I hope that they make it to champs and he just shows out and, like you said, is that guy. Because we've seen him be that guy before. It's just a weird thing, I see people on Twitter who are, preying on the downfall of Optic with that whole thing, like, dude, you drop him, he wasn't the problem. I'm like, look, it all depends on how that team, like how Optic ends up bouncing back.
mhm.
But yeah, I mean, Kenny, like he would say it. I think he already did. He knew he was terrible
Yeah,
on that team.
yeah.
You
He
know,
was the one that
like
has to be benched.
right. It was like he was
Yeah,
dead and gone with that team.
yeah.
But I think what it'll show too, if he ends up coming back, and playing at like a higher level, I think it'll be really cool because it'll be able to show that one player, it's not even the game, it's the environment that they're in. Like that's really the issue.
Mhm,
Um, because I was thinking back to like the last Treyarch game we had with Cold War and how he was on that game.
mhm.
And like he had bad matches for sure going back through it, but also too that team was in complete disaster,
Yeah,
very
rotating
similar
in and out.
to this team,
Yeah.
to his Optic team, where they were just in complete disaster mode, changing people. Thieves was way worse. Like they were just changing people every other week. Um, but I can't remember how that team shaped up towards the end of the season, if they ended up doing well and how he performed. Because if he comes back and starts frying on this game, that'll be so insane, you
Mhm.
know, and just shows that the game doesn't matter and that it's really just who you're playing with in the system that you're put in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like all these players they're professionals for a reason, right?
Right.
It's just sometimes you don't mesh with those players on whatever game you're on. Like that's just how it is. Because yeah, if he's frying with this team and whatever they play Optic and he beats Optic the first time they're playing,
Yeah.
obviously I don't think people will put too much of a a stock on that, but it's just a matter of, okay, this guy wasn't doing well on a team that should be doing well, and he fits better in another system because of like this whole game, you
Right.
know. And well, time will tell. We'll see, but I'm sure he'll come back and he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it'll be a good move for him. It's just weird to think that he's going to be on ROKKR,
Yeah.
um, and then when we go and watch the matches this weekend, like it's just there he is. It's like, oh
Yep.
Jesus Christ, it's going to be a trip. The other one too that talking about, so we got Kenny and then Pred figured out. Um, I don't think I haven't checked as of late. I don't think that that's confirmed that he's
Not
going to be
not
going
confirmed.
to the Falcons. Yeah, I think it was heavily rumored that that's where he was
Mhm.
going to go. Um, and even stepping back before going into that, I believe it's confirmed. I don't even know if it's a rumor anymore that Falcons are going to be going with a totally North American team, like minus I think Xnid. I think they're going to keep him.
Mhm.
But that team is believed to be in a complete rebuild mode right now, which is for sure the right move. We've been saying this for many a
Mhm.
week, many a month now that that team needs to blow it the fuck up. Like,
Well, it
you
only
know,
took half the year essentially.
yep,
But I
and a
will
record
say
of 0-18, 9-54 in game losses,
I
0
kind of
points.
want kind of wanted to see that go for like a little bit, a little, not because of the players, but
Sadist.
that's a historic run in a
Yeah.
year. Could you imagine they went the entire year not winning anything? Like that stat will never be broken ever.
Who knows? Who knows?
Well,
Could
not
do
the
better.
stat now, but I'm saying if they lost like the whole year, there's no way that
Oh,
stat
yeah.
will
Oh,
be
yeah.
broken.
No, no, no. My bad. Yeah, if they lost all year, which it was looking like they were going
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
yeah, it's literally impossible unless you start
yeah,
adding more events and everything.
yeah.
Um,
This, I mean, this record is really bad, but again, like it's possible
yeah.
to to beat this record.
No, it is. I hope nobody does because
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, I mean, it's terrible, and
yeah.
I don't know why. I guess they must have just been in denial about the whole thing and thought that they were maybe going to put it together, or they had some of those glimpses of hope where they didn't look too terrible.
Mhm,
Um, but especially with how this major went and the qualifiers just continuing to be the same trend, whether you're getting better or not, like the results aren't there, and it's long overdue that they make this move.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
and I saw people saying that the team was not good, like that they put together. I think what it was rumored to be was what was it, Pred and Arcides and
yeah.
what was the guy he played on Optic for a little bit? Um, what was his name? He had the glasses. He subbed in like for a little bit. I forget his name. Do you know what I'm
One of your
talking about?
seven?
He played Vanguard. He played during the Vanguard year with them.
Uh, oh, frig, what
Yeah,
is
you know
his
what I'm
name?
talking about. He's got the glasses and he's
Yeah.
yeah, like short
Um,
hair, buzzed head, something like that. I can't
frig,
remember the
what's his
guy's
name?
name. Yeah, dude, we're dying on names today.
Dude,
We
we're
can't
we're
we
we're
can't
out
connect any
today.
of them. Yeah,
Here, let
I don't know
see if I
who
can
it is,
find him.
but that team, like I saw a whole bunch of people saying, "Oh yeah, they're going to be terrible. Like that's just an awful team." Bro, there's no way that
It
team
does, yeah.
it gets any worse than where they're at right now. If that team continues the streak with Pred and Arcides, I just think that's, disgusting. I can't remember
Mhm,
who else. I don't know, like I said, I'm pretty sure they were just going to stick with Xnid because they want to keep somebody that has the Saudi representation in there.
mhm,
Um, but I think this is like a big W for this team. It's the only move that they had. I'm honestly impressed that they're getting Pred. If that does come to fruition, they must be throwing him a bag of
probably.
money.
I mean, good for
They
him.
have to. Yeah, right. I mean, they have to be just paying him an insane amount of money,
Mhm,
um, because there's really no other reason that he would want to go to that team.
mhm,
Um, they're not going to make champs. I don't think they make champs with him, but it must be so much money that he doesn't care if he doesn't make champs.
mhm.
They're like, dude, we'll throw you 500,000, 600,000,
Yeah,
whatever you
what
want. Like, no problem. He's like, oh yeah, for half a season, sure, I'm in. Like, why
yeah.
not? You know?
I can't find the guy, but this is news to me because I thought he just got benched. Um,
Okay.
Priesta got benched, so I knew
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But supposedly now the expected roster, we're supposed to find out sometime today. PRED, Arcedes, Priesta exited.
Okay, there you go. So it doesn't even
Yeah,
matter. So we got an updated one.
yeah.
Again, I don't know, dude.
I mean, that team's better than what they had. Again, like, they'll
Exactly.
win. Like, they'll win games.
Maps.
Yeah, they'll win series with this team. I mean,
Yeah.
Exnit is probably like, "Oh my god, I get to play with these guys." Like, the talent for him is probably gonna be unbelievable now.
That's what I was thinking. When
Yeah.
I saw that he was gonna be staying on this team, I was like, "Bro, this guy must be losing his mind." He's like, "Who am I playing with?" Like, "Bro,
Yeah.
I've got 3 world champions next to me, like,
Yeah.
holy shit. It's time to, like, hit the books, bro.
He's
I
gotta
gotta
lock
learn."
in.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Like, and you gotta know too, those guys are gonna be fucking teaching him everything,
Mhm.
chirping him about
Yeah.
hardpoint, being like, "Bro, what are you doing?"
Yeah, and,
Like,
Clay too. Clay's probably like, "Oh my god, I got world champs on the team now," where he's not gonna be stressed out of his mind every single map. So,
yeah. Yeah, it's such a good move for him. And for like everybody in that team, I think they're just going to be in better spirits. Like on the management side, players, I don't know. Um,
I mean, brand new team. I'm sure all of them will be relatively happy for a fresh start, you know? I mean, dude, if I'm Arcides, I think he tweeted out saying that I'm not losing this again because he's been in the challengers pit for a while now, and
yeah,
he's been consistently winning too. That's the thing. He just hasn't gotten a
right.
shot again, which is crazy because that just shows I don't know what the correct word is. I guess being biased. I don't know if bias is the right word, but seeing a not former pro, but an older pro down in challengers, it's like, oh, we shouldn't go and grab this player because they're down there. They've been down there for a reason, you know. Let's just go pick up a new AM and see what happens. Where, dude, Arcedes was at the top of the top, one with Phase, and like he was that guy. Had a couple rough seasons, and even the season that he got dropped from Phase, it wasn't like it was god awful. They just needed to make a change. And then he's been stuck in challengers for this long, and now he's ready to be back in the league. And he said something along the lines of, I'm not taking this for granted. Like, I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna stay. So,
Yeah, and I hope that it works out for him because when he got dropped from phase, I mean that was a real shock. I mean, because like you said, they played really closely. I mean, some people
mhm,
probably hear that and like, "What are you talking about? They didn't win anything," but they just got so close
mhm.
all the time, and I think after that, he got some shots on, like, what? Like, didn't he play for ROKKR at one point?
Play for LAG
LAG, that's who it was. Yeah, he played for LAG during the Modern Warfare 2 season, I
too, I
think.
think. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was MW2 season, and then he didn't make it through. He ended up getting, dropped off that team or benched or whatever,
yeah,
and he hasn't played since, and yeah, he's always looking good in challenges. I see his name all the time. He's usually on a top challengers team doing well. But yeah, to your point, they don't want to pay him because it's not like he's going to be getting the minimum to be into the league. I mean, he has won 2 world championships.
yeah,
Like he's for sure going to be wanting a bit more. Um, and yeah, they'd rather just take a chance on someone who's a young and up and coming player who looks cracked out of their mind.
mhm,
So for his sake, I hope it works out for him. I mean, he's got Pred next to him who hopefully like they'll be able to work with each other and actually get something going. And I just hope that whole team looks better. Um,
yeah. I mean,
for
I'm
the sake
sure
of
they
all
will.
those players, bro. For the
Yeah.
sake of all those players, they're all in tough spots in their career right now. All of
Mhm.
them.
I mean, if I'm Arcees or Priest, I'm like, whoa. I just went from one in challengers. Priest is probably on his like second worst year that he's ever had in his career. Now he's teaming with Pred. Like these two guys, you know, Pred's an all star. You know, I think I'd be hyped if I was those two. And
Yeah,
obviously, accidents. I mean, he's got 3 world champs around him. So
yeah.
yeah,
I hope that that team pulls it together and they can get some wins going and just show some life. And that's why it's weird when I see Zoomer, a lot of people talking about how terrible that team is on paper.
mhm,
Where from my standpoint, I'm thinking of what Falcons were. and
Yeah.
where all those players have been. Um, obviously Pred expects going to COD champs and be doing all that. He's not gonna do it with that team,
Yeah.
unless they all of a sudden overnight just become, Atlanta FaZe, or
Yeah,
as
dude.
was Envoy says, they take everything. They
Yeah,
just
Priest is gonna have to be an insane sub duo with Pred. But again,
yeah,
like I think Pred expects to win. I mean, I don't think you're a competitor if you don't expect to win. Like they're gonna try their hearts out to try to win and do everything they can. And again, we never know. On paper, yeah, Zuma's probably right. Like this team looks weird because Arcades is an AR. Priest has transitioned to like more of an AR player, and then Exited, I'm pretty sure, is like an AR.
yeah,
So something's got to budge and something's got to work, but they can't be any worse than what they had before. So, and we saw Vancouver pick up Neptune, and the team just got really, really good. This
right.
is a complete wipe for the most part. We'll see how they do. I mean, there's no way they can get any worse. So,
Yeah, yeah, and to an earlier point that we made, it's a lot of these teams that are at the bottom are making these big changes. It's like, well, why are they doing that right now? I think a lot of them are just in that like do or die mode for champs
mhm,
where, if Optic was in that situation, I think, they've got a little bit more of a cushion and just knowing who they are, like they should be able to pull through. But for a lot of the other teams that are in the mid pack that are fighting and, one loss can ruin it for them. Yeah, they're really trying to shift things up. I mean, and I even saw that with Miami. I was kind of surprised that they had made a change. Like, granted, I know they're in eighth, but they've looked okay with that team.
mhm.
Um, but I think they got rid of who was it? Was it
Lucky.
yeah, Lucky. They
They
went and
benched,
and
yeah.
and benched him.
They benched
Yeah, so
Lucky for Super.
right. So they have that move, and then I think LAG also they went and got rid of or put him on the bench, put Lins on the bench.
Yeah, they benched Lins and well, and Priesta technically, but supposedly
Yeah.
Priesta's going to Falcons. But the Miami change, honestly, I'm not surprised about it. They look good on uh online, but I swear at like the past two majors, every time they're on LAN, Real's frying. That team overall is like doing really well, but then Lucky just shits a bed, dude. He is a
Right.
guy completely costing that team. I mean,
Yeah.
Real, what against I forget what team it was, but he dropped like 40 plus kills or something.
It was
Uh,
Thieves.
Thieves, yeah, dude, they should have won that.
Right, right,
And Thieves barely, I wouldn't say barely won, but they had a hard time against Miami.
right.
And if Lucky just did just enough, they would have had a chance. So I think this was the right move for them. So hopefully Super comes in and he does just enough as what they expect.
If he can give them a 1 KD, that's all that they need,
Yeah.
or just fill in the gaps that they need. Um, and yeah, that's where a lot of these teams are going to be going to. Like, they're making these one person changes. Cloud9, um, surprising. I don't think they announced any changes, right? I think people were
Yeah.
calling for Mac to be off that team.
Mhm.
Um, which I have to go back and look. I don't know how he was performing, but I'm honestly surprised that team has stayed with it.
Yeah.
Because they're in ninth right now at 95 points.
Mhm.
And especially with some of these teams, like, again, Miami going and making a move like that, that could be the move that really sets them like, maybe it's a crazy thing to say, but that could be a move where they start rivaling someone like Surge. It's just one player who literally
Mhm.
changes the whole dynamic of the team. Like maybe one guy who's not completely costing and is
Mhm.
doing like the bare minimum, or like maybe he comes in and he's really good too. Now that team is insane and they're going to leapfrog Cloud9 pretty quickly.
Yeah, and again, we could say the same thing about ROKKR too, like with Kenny. It
Yeah.
I mean, we saw with Vancouver, they were right there with those teams. It's not like they're awful or anything, but they're definitely a mid-pack team,
Yeah.
and they were hanging there. And then one player for them just changed everything, and now they're
Right.
a top 3 team. But yeah, I mean, with C9, I guess they're just looking at it as, yeah, you see that team and you expect it to be good, right? It's like the same thing with OPTIC.
Right.
And we've seen moments of them where like Sib is shining and it's just working out. And it's not like Mac too. Mac hasn't been bad at all like this year. They've all been just, doing well. I wouldn't say they're stars or anything, but if you look at, I want to say like the past couple series, it's not like one person is just god awful. You know,
Yeah,
if
exactly.
if anything, Kremp is frying. Like he's a star right now on that team. But
Absolutely.
everyone else is like they're not shitting the bed completely.
Right, right, and I think that's where they're put in this tough spot of who do they get and who are they gonna replace, on the team? Because you said they're doing okay, but with these other teams that were just doing okay and now making these necessary changes, it's gonna put them in a tough spot,
Mhm,
if they don't get it together because by the time say they bow out late in, or early in Major 3 and some of these other teams make a run, like, dude, they're screwed. There's a
mhm.
really good chance that they don't make it to champs, if they don't start picking it up. Because,
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, Kremp's been looking really good. Same thing with Sib. He's had good moments as well. They just need to all put it together. Um, and I'd say same thing too. Like I'm not as concerned, but I am a little bit still with Boston because they're not changing either.
Mhm,
Um, but I think of all those teams, they've looked the best. They've had,
mhm,
way more, shining moments than the other teams. But it just worries me to see where they're going to stack up with the current team that they have now up against all
mhm.
these other teams that are making changes. And, from the looks on paper, they're all positive changes.
Yeah, I mean, Boston definitely has been the most, like, consistent team, I would say, out of the other teams making changes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think it's wrong for them to keep the team because okay, dude, they should have beaten Surge at the major, and, like, I think if you rewatch the map, they just made stupid mistakes. Again, yes, Surge won. They deserve the win. But not Optic, Boston just finds a way for whatever reason to put themselves in a bad situation when it comes major time for
Right.
whatever reason. And, you know, this team hasn't made a change all year, but they've been consistent for, the majority of the time this season. So,
Yeah, it's it's going to be an interesting one again with a lot of these changes that have just happened. I can see all of these teams really moving up. Uh, Minus Falcons, they're definitely going to get better, and I think there's no doubt about that. LAG, who really knows what's going to happen with that team, but I suspect that more or less it's going to stay the same, like regarding the standings, but for those teams that miss out, I really if right now, we gotta see how they play, of course, but I
yeah.
think Cloud9 is making a big mistake, not changing, or not trying to take advantage of it because there's a lot of these teams that are and are trying to do everything they can to win, and unless they have some real resurgence here and they really turn up, then I think it's gonna come back to haunt them later on this year.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, too, we don't know how these other teams, like, I'm sure they're skirming right now, but we
Right,
don't know how those matches look, obviously,
right.
because we're assuming that these changes should make these teams better,
Watch them
but
not.
again, yeah, it could ruin them.
Yeah,
Maybe, they might regress and C9, they didn't make a change and it actually helps them and they, win the matches that they need to win. It can go either way. But the only team that can't get worse is Falcons. Like legitimately, that's the only team that can't get worse because they haven't
yeah.
won anything all year. So
Right,
if they
right.
win anything, that's good for them.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, that really is at the end of the day the only one that's gonna be, a 100% positive. Like, they're
Yeah.
gonna get better, no doubt. We have our suspicions and expect that these teams are gonna do better, but we'll just have to wait and see. Because yeah, we got the events coming up, and I haven't really looked at it to see what the schedule is going to be. I remember that for us, we didn't have too difficult of a route over the next couple of weeks of playing. Um
Yeah.
but just with all these new rosters that's coming around, I have to go look at it and see what they're going to be, who they're going to be playing. Probably, hopefully, playing each other. Um, if they're stuck playing a bunch of top teams, like I really think the top four, right now, minus the top two, but like Ultra and Surge,
Mhm.
I think they're going to be able to, you know, beat everybody, or they
Yeah.
should at least. They probably won't, but they definitely should.
Yeah. I mean, I have it up now. Like we first matchup is against Ultra. So that's again, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
But then we play ROKKR. On paper right now we haven't seen Kenny play, but they should be ROKKR, right?
Right.
But
Right.
we don't know with that change with Kenny. It could help out a lot. And then we play LAG after that. We
You
don't
get another
even know
change.
what
Yeah.
their team is.
Yeah.
And then we play Cloud9, and that's oh, and then we play Falcons. Like
Yeah,
the
bro.
all the
If
teams changed. So I feel like we can't make a prediction at all, like until we
no.
see these teams play.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna say. And like two, man, if we go and we lose like most of those, or we lose
All those.
especially to like, yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be bugging. Like I'm gonna start getting nervous because yeah, but this optic match is gonna be a really big deal. Like, obviously for both those teams just because of what they've got.
Mhm.
But it's gonna be a real showcase of what's going on in the middle. Like if LAG or Rocker, sorry, just gets completely smoked by optic, and
Mhm.
it's not even close, then optics definitely, on the resurgence, or they look good and they're going to be able to play well with their team and get out of that, 110 point club that they're in right now. But if
Mhm.
LAG comes out and looks great, like, dude, they can make a run and drop a lot of these teams
They
lower
could.
in the, bottom four. Yeah. And now it's a
Yeah.
problem.
And like, yeah. So out of all the matches this split, the only team that we're playing that didn't make a change is Toronto and Cloud9. That's
Yeah.
it. Those are the only teams that we could actually make a prediction on right
Right.
now. Like other teams, like you said, LAG only has 30 points. They're really far behind. But dude, again, you have no idea. Granted, like I think out of LAG and Falcons that could make like an insane run, it would probably be Falcons. But you know, if those two teams just they randomly beat some of these mid pack teams, that's not good because
Yeah.
it's going to start screwing up points. Like of you know these teams probably they should have won this game, and now these
Right.
points really really matter for that eighth seed.
Yeah. And good thing I'm not playing because I would be tweaking. Like I wouldn't want to be anybody involved with that. It's going to be good to watch for us, of course, just because now we get a real shakeup and get to see what happens with these teams. But yeah, it's a lot of stress and it is a lot of potential upsets that could be happening here. Or just teams again figuring out if they did end up making the right moves or not. That's what always kind of makes this fun. That's why I look forward to the Optic and Rocker showdown because
That's
you
gonna be
know
great
yeah,
first match.
right, just seeing how
Yeah.
Kenny does, like, if he's
Hmm.
still dog shit and they're like, "Well, man, like, we made the right move." I mean, regardless, they made the right move,
Yeah.
but down the line, when you start thinking that way, like, dude, this guy just needed a new team or needed a new environment, and now he's that god player that you did have, but you let him go,
Hmm.
and he's gonna be a problem,
Yeah.
um, so it's gonna be fun to watch for sure.
Yeah. The split will be good to watch. But yeah, so that was like all the roster changes. Like
Lots.
it was a lot. Yeah. So that'll be good to watch in the next couple weeks and stuff. But
Mhm.
also too, season 3 was announced,
Hell
so
yeah.
it will be out by the time you guys listen to this. And I saw that they're bringing back firing range, which
Yes.
that is a W. Firing range is a great map. I'm surprised I haven't done that like sooner, but
Right, right.
you know, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like looking at this, like most of the stuff that they had some new perks, which I haven't actually looked at them to see what they are. Um, I haven't heard anybody talking about them really, like, and that's kind of what I base most of it off of. Like, if they're talking about it on the timeline, like breaking
Hmm.
down what it is, and people are up and pissed off about it, then it's probably broken. But
Hmm.
I haven't heard anybody talk about it, so it all seems pretty normal. The main one, like you said, is that everyone's looking forward to is firing range. Um, I yeah, again, I think they should have put this in way earlier. I don't want too many remasters. Like, we've said it before. We've had our fair share of them.
Hmm.
Um, But yeah, this game definitely needs some new maps. They need less of the gimmick maps that we've gotten in the past
Mhm.
couple. Like I see again on here, we're
Well, we
getting
gotta get
another
that.
iteration of like Blaze Town. Like, bro, I don't care.
Yeah,
You know,
and we got bamboozled with the 4 to 6 new maps. We are getting 4 to 6 new maps,
right,
but the 2 of them are new.
right,
Well,
right.
2 of them are new for just, like, 6v6, and then the other 2 are, um,
2v2 maps.
2v2s, like
Yeah. So
mm,
one of them is a remaster, right? The Blaze Town. Haven looks like I guess that's a new map.
yeah,
But dude, from the photo that they put, that looks exactly like what's the map that like where they play Search with the vault. Or am I blanking?
Vault?
Yeah, Vault. Thank you. Yeah. Not working today,
Yeah.
right? When they play on like when you see that image of Vault, like that looks like the back spawn like area
Yeah,
to
yeah,
Vault,
yeah,
which is like just I'm like, bro, I hope it's not.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, we really got two new maps.
mhm,
Or well, yeah, we got Barrage, which is gonna be a new one. I haven't heard anything about it. And then yeah,
Haven.
Haven, which I guess is the new one too.
Yeah,
I Yeah, we did get screwed over big time. Like,
yeah,
I was thinking we were gonna be getting 4 to 6, 6v6 maps,
yeah,
maybe throwing a remaster in there.
mhm.
Um, but,
Well, yeah, we did get the remaster Firing Range, and then we got the Blaze Town that
yeah,
the
it's
2
just dude, it doesn't excite me. It
yeah,
doesn't get me like, same thing when we play Grind, like, I don't know, man. Playing Grind on BO6, like, it plays good,
yeah,
like, it plays fine, but it again, it wears off real quick.
yeah,
Like, when I loaded I played a handful of free for alls and, I played, like, a bunch of kill confirmed on there, of course.
mhm,
And it's like, it's exactly the same from BO4. Like, you just, you know what the deal is. You
mhm,
know all the spots. Um, but yeah, then after about an hour, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm over this. Like, it's
yeah,
just it's another map, Like, I need
yeah,
something new that I don't know because that first map I play of Grind, I've seen it all. I know everything,
mhm,
because it's again, it's a remaster. Firing Range is gonna be the same thing.
yeah, yeah. It'll be fun the first, like, couple times playing, but yeah, I mean, this season is very light, to be honest, in terms of the content that they're providing. I mean, it's primarily all multiplayer and then some zombies. Zombies, seems like it's a new map-ish.
Yes, believe so.
But it looks like, what is, I know it's not that map. The what's the map called?
Bro,
You
we've
know what I'm
been
talking about?
so bad with names today and everything. We're like, "Bro, what's that map with the vault called?"
Dude.
Vault? And then
Yeah.
it looks like that, like, "What's that map? What's the other one?" Ah, dude, I mean, the zombies, like, from this looks pretty solid. Um,
Mhm.
Zombies has been delivering, which has been good. And I'm glad that they're still keeping up with the content for it. But, yeah, to your point, I mean, multiplayer just does look a
Payback.
little,
That's what the
payback.
map
Yeah,
is. It looks like
okay.
Payback, like the house,
It does.
but it's not.
It does, yeah.
At least
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope
yeah.
it's not.
Can you imagine? They just turned it into, like, zombie kind of
Night.
zombify it or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
night version. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Black Gold. Um, yeah, but most of the stuff in here, it just looks okay. Like, they're adding the gun, the kilo, and, like, the AMAX and stuff like that. I think a
Mhm.
lot of people are more excited for that in Warzone,
Yeah.
than really in multiplayer. I mean, we'll see how they are.
Mhm.
Um but yeah, just a little bit of a drag. Like again, multiplayer, bro, is like we're an
We're get
afterthought. We're an
Yeah,
afterthought. They're like,
but
oh,
the
let's give you
thing
these.
is, we're getting stuff for multiplayer. It's just not enough, I
More.
don't think. Yeah, no, we need more. I mean,
Yeah.
Warzone didn't get anything. Like, technically, they didn't get
Right.
anything,
Right.
but they're getting Verdansk, and again, that'll wear off in, like, a month, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Dude, I
I,
don't know, this year's been weird, dude, like, the aura around this game has not been good, and I'm worried for Treyarch because I don't wanna put the blame on Treyarch because I don't think it is at the end of the day. I really don't think it's them.
yeah, I don't know what it is. This game has been going great so far. Like I know, we've both been loving it, but um I just was feeling that there was gonna be a lot more that we would be getting, a lot more support and a lot more, like, good stuff that we'd expect from Treyarch, and it's just
Mhm.
been kind of the same thing that we've gotten the past couple of years from the other devs, and
Mhm.
it pisses me off, you know? I mean, we
Yeah.
still have, like, our whole problem with rank play that people are dealing with, like, they are,
Mhm.
putting out some new bans and stuff like that
So
to help out
yeah,
with it, you
supposedly that's
know?
gonna work, which I don't know
Yeah,
how it's gonna, because they said that if you played against a hacker, you'll get your SR back. I don't know how they're
right.
gonna figure that out, but I mean, like, that's good, right? Um, but we'll see. This season has just been light. Like, everything has been light on this game, but MW3 was kinda like that too, and then towards the end of it, they added Rio and Six Star, and I feel like it just made the game a lot better in terms of competitive too, and watching it. So,
W
maybe
well,
they
and
just
that's the
bring back Raid and Express, and then it just looks good again.
Well, and that's the thing too with like, you don't have to go too much onto it, but like that's with ranked right now because they haven't added any new maps and I think they're bringing back that the mall map, the super like the store map that they had
Yeah.
for search and destroy, I believe,
Mhm.
in place of vault. And then, like, some of the other maps that they're gonna add, like the car deal or I think it's called dealership,
Mhm. Yeah,
they're gonna be
dealership.
adding that map in, and I think it's gonna be not even this split, it's gonna be, like, the next split that they added in, and people were already bitching about it saying that map sucks,
Yeah, yeah.
before we've even gotten to it, like, we haven't even
Yeah.
seen these guys play yet, and they're like, "Bro, this map is a joke, like, you kidding
Mhm.
me?" Um so it makes the CDL a bit of a drag too to watch, and then for us to
Mhm.
be playing ranked or anything, I mean, like, dude, it's so funny. I played ranked 2 days ago. I went and
Mhm.
played just solo queuing like a demon. And well, if you do one thing is like, the amount of game knowledge I get from watching the CDL and then
Yeah.
applying it there is immense. But
Mhm.
the thing too is I get sick of it. I'm just like playing these. I'm like, bro, here we are.
Yeah.
It's the same maps
Same
again.
maps
Like,
again? Yeah.
yeah, it's like I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, here we go. We're gonna play, it's
Mhm.
vault control. Okay, know what to do. Here we go. It's
Mhm.
like you just like rinse and repeat with all of this stuff. And then
Mhm.
there's some people that are down there, the plats, and I get so pissed because they're not doing shit. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Dude, yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, bro, you're not blocking spawns, you fucking
Yeah,
stupid. Like,
yeah.
I get so
The
pissed. I'm like, how
the,
long's this game been out, bro?
dude, the, yeah, like, I saw a clip of it was Ghosty and someone else that played Dealership, and they're saying
Yeah,
that this map is horrible,
yeah.
and I think I don't know, but it seems like these new maps got announced, and the CDL just added them in without talking with any of the pros, which I don't know. I feel like maybe the map does suck. I'm sure it does suck for the players, but part of me as a viewer is like, dude, who cares? Just throw the maps in. It'll be good for us because it's something different. You know, these guys are professionals. I'm sure the map sucks for competitive, especially if we tried playing it in range. We're probably gonna get pissed, but at least viewing wise, it'll give us
Something new.
something new. You
Right,
know,
right.
um,
Yeah. And that shows to me too how I don't know anything because granted, like I haven't played it in a rank situation, but bro, playing that map in pubs, I love that map. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, dude,
I'm
yeah,
like, dude, this is a great map for
yeah,
6v6. Like, kill confirmed. They probably
yeah,
like blow their brains out listening to me say that. But I'm like,
yeah,
dude, it's not a bad map. I didn't understand all the slander. I'm like, dude, why are we hating on dealerships? Map's
yeah,
fire. But
yeah.
playing it in ranked, probably, like
That
competitive situations, I'm sure it's way different.
Yeah, because playing in competitive, I mean, everyone else. If you play ranked, it's so different than
Yeah.
pubs, especially 4v4 S&D. People are just hiding in little corners,
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're
Well, with
different.
all the cars too, it's like,
You just don't know
it's
where they're
not
gonna be. Yeah.
exactly.
Um, but yeah, I mean, that's season 3. Well, I hopefully like it. I don't know. It brings back some people.
I
I
mean,
doubt
we'll
it at this point,
we'll
bro.
be talking about I'm
I'm
gonna be playing it for sure, when they put everything out. But yeah, I think the big thing, like, obviously all the CDL news, that was the big point. But dude, season 3 for us, just light,
Yeah.
just not what we were looking
It's
for.
It's just there, you know?
But we
Yeah,
talked
yeah,
about.
you know what game I'm looking forward to playing? 'Cause
What's
I'll
that?
be back playing? Split Fiction. That's what I want to play. I think I mentioned
Yes,
that.
sir.
I do want to.
Yes, sir.
You and I will be playing that.
I already bought it, bro. I'm waiting.
I'm ready. I'll be good.
Hell yeah.
Probably
Hell
maybe
yeah.
this weekend. I
Hell
gotta.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. I just haven't been wanting to play video games.
Yeah,
To be
yeah,
honest,
dude, I hear you,
just
bro.
look.
I hear you. I
Every
hear you.
game I look at, I'm like, bro, fuck this, dude.
Dude, I'll tell you afterwards because I've got like a crazy gaming story this whole week regarding it, but we'll
Mhm.
save that after because I'm gonna yap for about an hour about that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Gaming's just
Dude,
hasn't been interesting to. I like at night, dude. Well, I've just been really tired. My sleep schedule has been fucked for the past like this year,
yeah,
like
yeah,
legit. So,
right.
and it comes like 9, 10 o'clock. I'm like, nah, fuck this, dude. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna. I'd rather sit here and brain rot than
yeah.
like use my
Just scroll,
brain,
demon scroll. Yeah, I
dude.
know.
Yeah,
But dude, Split
but I do.
Fiction,
Yeah.
that'll be your game.
No, yeah, that'll
That'll
be the
get you
game to
back in.
bring me back right away. But I do
Yeah, yeah,
know
yeah.
that when I hop back on COD, I will be much better than other people still.
No,
That knowledge doesn't leave. I just know
no,
that for a fact.
no. It takes like 1 or 2 games and then you're back to it. You'll be good.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like, "Why aren't you blocking spawns? Dude, I haven't touched
Right.
the game in months and you can't do this shit? Like, don't you watch the games?"
Oh yeah, bro. No, it'll come right back. Like I said, season 3 will bring it back in Split. Was it Split Fiction? Is that the name of it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Fire
Nah,
Ranges bring me back.
yeah.
Just that one and Blaze
Just
Town.
that one.
I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
amped
And
for
Blaze.
it.
Yeah, you can't wait for Blaze, bro.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in the 24/7 playlist.
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, man, I
yeah.
think that's it on my end. I don't got much else wanted to be adding to it.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
you
I
do.
think we're good. Short, small season 3 update, the
Yes.
whole season 3 update. PRED got dropped. That was the biggest thing,
Rip.
and a
Yeah.
bunch of other roster changes. But yeah, so I mean, if you guys are listening and or watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you think any of these roster changes are actually good changes, especially the
Mhm.
PRED one. I'm sure some people they're either on the side of this is awful, OPTIC are going to be worse now, or
Yeah.
this change did need to happen, sadly, but something had to happen. But
Do
yeah,
let us
and yeah, let us know. And we're also on anchor.fm/the COD Casuals. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that stuff, all those streaming platforms. And we're also on TikTok and Instagram. If you don't want to listen to the whole thing, we chop it up and put it over there. And make sure you leave a 5-star rating because it helps out the podcast a ton. It helps us climb to the top of the
Yes,
Call of
yes,
Duty
yes. Take that
podcast.
number 1 spot, baby.
Exactly. So yeah, make sure 5-star rating always. And
Always.
yeah, I think that's it.
And that's it, bro.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. This has been episode 216 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.